Good morning and Om Shanti to all the listeners. Today is your 167th day of your God blessing. Before we go ahead, like always, have a look at the link above. Click on the link for finding out about yogasans, fitness, diet, and sleep. So let's go ahead with today's blessing. What does Baba have to say in today's blessing? Baba wants us to become like a spiritual rose, just like the rose has a fragrance and people can smell it from far away. Similarly, our thoughts also have a fragrance and people can catch it from far away. That's what we call as vibrations. That we get a good vibration from this person. I don't get a good vibration from that person. I don't know why. I don't feel like talking to him or her or being around him or her. And that is what we're talking about, the spiritual fragrance which comes from a person. We don't know about it, we can't see it, we can't actually feel it on our skin, but we can feel it. We means the soul can feel it through thought patterns, through vibrations. That's why God says, think of yourself as a soul in order to find out what exactly a person is like. Don't look at the outer appearance, because the outer appearance, the physical body, is all falsehood. But the soul within is the one who is always giving out some fragrance, who is always giving out some kind of vibration. If you are meditating, if you know how to meditate, you'll catch that vibration and you'll know whether to stay away from that person or to be close to that person. That helps a lot. But here, the complete aspect is totally different. It's about service. So let's find out what Baba has to say. Baba says, may you become a spiritual rose and spread your spiritual fragrance far and wide as a spiritual server. So we can do that. You can pray, you can think, and your thoughts will create an atmosphere around you. You can either create an atmosphere at your home of peace, of love, or hatred, or jealousy, or comparison, and many more things. So Baba says in detail, spiritual roses spread the fragrance of their spirituality far and wide with the spiritual attitude. So either your attitude is spiritual or your attitude is physical. That means physical means you want something or you desire something. That's why you come in contact with a person. That's why you're in relationship with somebody or you are talking to somebody. That's jismaniyat or body consciousness. But God says that a spiritual fragrant soul will always have a spiritual attitude. The Supreme Spirit is always merged in their vision. Everything which they see or everything which they think about, it's always going to be on a spiritual platform. That how can I benefit this soul? How can I help this soul out? How can I make the soul see the right way of seeing? Because first of all, I myself, am I looking through the glasses of what God has given me, the glass of knowledge, the glasses of knowledge, and am I able to show other souls also a method to see the world, to see the situations in that manner, and then move ahead and do the right karma. So Baba says the Supreme Spirit is always merged in their vision. They always look at the spirit. They don't look at the body. People in the world look at the physical features to like somebody. People look at the physical attainments of somebody to make friends sometimes. Majority of the people in the world are doing that. 95% of the people are looking at the outer aspects of somebody to make friends, to be in relationship, to do business with, and God says that is not at all true. And majority of the time people get into wrong situations with the wrong people, and that's where the karmas also become impure and you get entangled. So what does it do? Baba says they always look at the spirit when you have the spiritual knowledge, the soul, and speak to the soul. How do you speak to the soul? Either you're talking words of manipulation or you're talking words of desires. You're manipulating in such a manner that you get something out of that person, or you're somebody who is talking to the spirit. That means emotions and your thoughts are pure. You're not manipulating or you're not thinking something impure regarding that person or wanting something out of that person. That's why you're choosing your words very carefully or you're being very diplomatic. No. A soul to soul contact is a contact of purity. You'll talk heart to heart. You'll see values and virtues in that person. You'll negate all the body consciousness that person has. It's like choosing white and not black. So God says you'll be looking at the white or looking at the pure part of the soul and forgetting about whatsoever that soul talks about, the worldly things or worldly desires. So you'll be able to decipher the right from the wrong, and you'll also be peaceful when you're doing that. When we look at the body consciousness or bodily aspects of a person, we become heavy in our mind because there's unlimitedness in that area. You can compare so many aspects, physical, you can compare so many aspects on the basis of financial, you can compare so many aspects on the basis of relation or looks or anything, and that makes your mind heavier. But if you're soul conscious, if you're looking at the person's soul, that means you're looking at their habits, sanskars, purity, godly gifts which they've got, then you'll be lighter. So Baba wants us to do that. They always look at the spirit, the soul, and speak to the soul. I am a soul, and I always walk under the canopy of the Supreme Spirit. That has to be the first aspect. I am a soul, and I'm always walking under the canopy of protection of God the Father, who's the Supreme Soul, under His light. Now, Karan Karavan Har. Now, this is a special word. Karan Karavan Har. It's a word in Sanskrit. What does it mean? It means the one who makes me move. We say that God makes everything move in this world. But God, without coming on earth and giving us the knowledge of how to think, what to say, what to do, cannot make us move. God says, I'm not somebody who's sitting on top and who's got a thread on top and you're like a puppet and I'm playing along with you. No. I come down on earth and I give you the divine knowledge, my own thoughts I give you so that you can think like me and you can reform your karmas. That's why He has to come down on earth. And when He comes down on earth, the main karma or the highest karma which God does, because He's an ocean of knowledge, He comes down and gives us the knowledge that you are a soul, you're not this body. Think like a soul. Look at the soul, don't look at the physical features, because you have been doing sins while looking at the physical features. You've been choosing people on the basis of their outer beauty, you've been choosing people on the basis of their outer achievements and attainments, how much wealth they have, what car, what house do they live in, and you make friends on the basis of that, and then you get entangled into wrong karmas. So God first comes down and He relieves us of all the wrong choices which we have done on the basis of body consciousness, and He puts us back into soul consciousness, because He's a soul. So He wants us children to also think like a soul, see everybody as a soul. How do you think God looks at you? He looks at you on the basis of physical features or your physical beauty? No. God is a soul, the supreme being. He's a soul, so He looks only at the soul, and He can only have a conversation with the soul. He doesn't have a conversation with the body. He's got nothing to do with the five elemental body. So, do we know the method of doing soul to soul contact? Do we know the method of conversing with God the Father, thinking of ourselves as a soul? Well, you learn all that at Brahmakumaris. But here we're going to go ahead with this Vardhan. So Baba says, I always walk under the canopy of the Supreme Spirit. That's what we think about. Karan Karavan Har, the one who makes me move. We understood that of myself. A soul is the Supreme Spirit. He's the one who makes me move, who makes me do things. Those who experience the Lord, to be present with them at every second, are constantly imperishable and constant in their spiritual fragrance. That's what we spoke about yesterday also, that our thoughts and our words and our action are always in the right mood, in the right direction, constant. Only when we feel that we are with God, we're conversing with God, we have Him around us. So this is a number one speciality of a spiritual server, that he's always in touch with God. He's always looking at the soul. He doesn't have any form of desires. One more thing, when we talk about angels, like in the previous Vardhans we've spoken about, angels are those souls who have nothing of this world that they want. They have no desires. That's why angels are shown above, their feet are shown above the land. Why? Because their thoughts don't touch the land, or their thoughts are not of this land. That means they don't have desires of the world. That's why they're able to help everybody out. Can you become an angel? Can you become that spiritual fragrant flower? Yes, you can. And you can learn that, how to become that, when you come at Brahmakumaris and you learn and you start reforming yourself. So I leave you with this beautiful Vardhan. Understand it. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. Stay home. Om Shanti.